the Royal Rumble!
Well, it's January. The days are cold and the nights are long. But inside every wrestling fan's heart, a fire burns because it's Royal Rumble season. It's been over 35 years since the first televised Royal Rumble event, and since then, the match has become a fan favorite, featuring exciting returns and debuts, creative spots, and built-in narratives that keep the fans on their toes. It's not shocking that the Rumble has become such a beloved event. However, the Rumble's origins are far from glamorous. Lambasted by Vince McMahon, the concept was given little resources and ran with little fanfare or significance. Despite what the history books tell you, the Rumble's first winner wasn't Hacksaw Jim Duggan. It wasn't one of the big names like Piper or Hogan. So, who was it? Well, you'll have to wait to find out. This is the story of the Rumble before the Rumble, and how we got to the stadium selling event we know today. Before I begin, I want to give a few shoutouts. Firstly, I want to highlight Denny Burkholder's article on CBS Sports about the event. It was a great resource and an even better read for anyone who wants to learn more. I'll try to leave a link in the description of this video. Secondly, I want to thank my buddy Max for the idea for this video. If you wish to hear about your favorite obscure wrestling moment, leave it in the comment section below, and I may just cover it. And finally, if you want to see more content like this, like and subscribe. I'm a small creator looking to grow, and any support you send makes a big difference. With that all out of the way, let's get on to the video. Before they were the stooges of the Attitude Era, Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe were Vince McMahon's right-hand men. Veterans of the Territory days, Patterson and Briscoe were trusted advisors of McMahon, who were regularly involved in the creative direction of the WWF. In 1987, a creative meeting was put on hold due to a phone call for Vince. It was at this point that Patterson headed outside for a smoke break. While he was out there, a match concept came to him. You see, back in Patterson's days as the top guy of San Francisco's big-time wrestling territory, the promotion held an annual 18-man Battle Royale. This event was considered one of the marquee dates on the wrestling calendar in the city. So, it's no wonder, given his background, that the match Patterson was thinking of happened to be a Battle Royale. However, this Battle Royale would be different. Wrestlers would enter the ring one by one in timed intervals with a predetermined entry order unknown to the fans. After a cigarette break, Patterson told Vince about his idea. Over 35 years later, we've seen the success of the match type. The pay-per-views sold, tickets bought, and the memories made. If we were in the shoes of Vince McMahon, the answer would be a resounding yes. However, Patterson recalled McMahon's words to be a bit different. Pat, that is stupid. It's not going to work. However, despite Vince's criticism, he trusted his right-hand man enough to at least try the idea. So, after consulting with the creative team to brainstorm a title that would differentiate the match from other Battle Royales, the first Royal Rumble match would take place in St. Louis, Missouri on October 4th, 1987. The event was far from the spectacle we see today. It wasn't televised with thousands of fans in attendance. Instead, it took place on a house show in front of a reported crowd of 1,976. Additionally, the WWF kept the show tight in terms of talent. Instead of the traditional 30-man rumbles we see today, the match was run with a much smaller 12-man field. The show also included a sizable 7-match undercard. These matches were Hillbilly Jim vs. Nikolai Volkov, Magnificent Don Morocco vs. Cowboy Bob Orton, One Man Gang vs. Junkyard Dog, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff vs. Ravishing Rick Rude, Billy Jack Haynes and David Boy Smith vs. Axe and Smash of Demolition, Billy Jack Haynes vs. King Kong Bundy, and Sensational Sherry vs. Velvet McIntyre. Despite our knowledge of the undercard's participants, the Rumble participants are unknown. However, we can likely deduce who fought in the original Rumble through the undercard. It's likely the WWF didn't bring in extra talent solely for the Rumble, meaning 12 of the 13 male wrestlers on the card did double duty that night. So, who is the wrestler who sat out? A likely answer is Billy Jack Haynes. Haynes was not actually advertised on the initial card. However, he wrestled twice as a substitute for the Dynamite Kid and Ricky Steamboat. Considering Haynes had already wrestled twice on a night, he likely didn't compete in the Rumble. However, there is one man we can say undoubtedly was in the first Rumble. The match's winner, the one-man gang. In today's wrestling ecosystem, winning the Rumble is seen as a significant achievement, one on par with winning the world title. However, according to the one-man gang, it wasn't a night to remember. The future Akeem told CBS Sports that he can't recall winning the match, which shouldn't be surprising considering that the victory occurred at a random house show in Missouri. Cage Match says One Man Gang wrestled 158 matches in 1987. During that time, he fought Hogan for his World Heavyweight title all across America, He reigned as the UWF champ in Bill Watts' territory for 161 days, and he would even send Jim Duggan out of the UWF territory. With all that action under his belt, is it really a surprise he forgot about a random battle royale with a unique gimmick? Maybe it's good that one-man gang doesn't remember the event, considering how poorly it was received. For starters, Pat Patterson wasn't at the event and couldn't explain his vision of the match to the wrestlers or agents. If that wasn't enough, fans were told that the Rumble's winner would face Hogan for the WWF title. Unfortunately, the ring announcer made the mistake of announcing that the next house show in St. Louis would be headlined by a WWF title match between Hogan and Gang, essentially spoiling the match's victor and exposing kayfabe in an era where the WWF relied on young fans who had not been smartened up to the business. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the blunder meant that Gang received jeers upon his entry into the Rumble. Given the lackluster performance of the event, it seems certain that the Rumble would fade into obscurity. That is, if it wasn't for TV exec Dick Ebersol. Ebersol, then chairman of NBC Sports, was working with Vince McMahon and the WWF to create a TV special for the USA Network in the same vein as Monday Night's main event. However, Ebersol was disinterested in the card Vince had envisioned for the event. At an impasse, Vince suggested that Pat Patterson bring up his match concept. Upon describing his idea, Patterson recalled Ebersol's supposed reaction. "My God, that is the greatest thing for television." The first broadcast of Rumble occurred in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, in front of 18,000 fans. This time, 20 wrestlers entered the titular match, with Hacksaw Jim Duggan outlasting everyone to take home the win. Ebersol's thoughts on the match were correct, as the show became the most watched wrestling event on cable TV at the time. Big John Studd would win the Rumble in '89, in the first 30-man affair, before Hulk Hogan won back-to-back in '90 and '91. '92 would see Ric Flair go from number 1 to 30 with a tear in his eye to win the WWF title, before the long-running prize of a world title match at Mania was introduced in '93. Austin began his ascent to the top with his first win in '97, while Triple H won his first in '02. Vince tore his quads in '05, and Cena stunned the crowd in '08. AJ Styles shocked the world in 2016, and Cody Rhodes' story reached its next chapter in 23 and 24. We can recall these legendary moments in Royal Rumble lore. However, before the glitz and the glamour, 12 men entered the ring in St. Louis at the Royal Rumble, and we all forgot. If you're here with me at the end of the video, thanks for watching. Once again, a lot of this video was based on the CBS article I mentioned earlier, so please read it if you are interested in learning more. There's a lot more cool stuff I didn't mention in that article. Thanks to Mac for his suggestion. Thanks to you for sticking around. Give me a like and a subscribe if you want to help me grow, and I'll see you in the next episode. Have a nice day. Bang bang.